Why too much pleasure makes men weak. What if I told you that the things you enjoy the most are quietly destroying your potential, not in a dramatic way, not overnight, but slowly, silently, every single day? And the worst part is, you won't even notice it happening, because it feels good. We are living in a world where pleasure is no longer something you earn. It's something you consume endlessly. You wake up, and before your feet even touch the ground, you reach for your phone. Scroll, scroll, scroll. In seconds, your brain is flooded. Entertainment, stimulation, distraction. And this continues all day. Food that's engineered to taste perfect. Videos designed to keep you hooked. Apps built to steal your attention. Everything around you is designed for one thing: to keep you comfortable, to keep you entertained, to keep you addicted. But here's the truth. A man who is always comfortable never becomes strong, because strength is built in discomfort. Discipline is built in resistance, and growth only happens when you go against what feels easy. Your brain wasn't designed for unlimited pleasure. It was designed for survival, for effort, for struggle, for reward after hardship. But today, you get the reward without the effort, and that confuses your mind. Let's understand this clearly. Every time you experience pleasure, your brain releases dopamine, and dopamine feels amazing. It gives you that rush, that satisfaction, that temporary high. But dopamine has a dark side. It doesn't just make you feel good, it makes you crave more. The more you feed your brain easy pleasure, the more it demands it. And slowly, your baseline changes. What used to feel exciting now feels normal. What used to feel normal now feels boring. And what used to feel boring now feels unbearable. That's when the damage begins, because real life is not designed to compete with instant pleasure. Real life is slow, success is slow, growth is slow, mastery is slow. And your brain? It no longer has the patience for slow. So what happens? You start avoiding anything that requires effort. You delay your work. You avoid challenges. You escape into comfort, not because you're weak, but because your mind has been trained to avoid discomfort. But over time, that avoidance becomes your identity. You stop pushing yourself. You stop growing. You stop evolving. And without realizing it, you become weak. Let's define weakness properly. Weakness is not about your body. It's about your control. It's about your ability to say no, when everything inside you wants to say yes. Weakness is choosing comfort over growth, choosing distraction over purpose, choosing pleasure over progress. A strong man can sit alone in a quiet room with no phone, no entertainment, no noise, and still feel at peace. A weak man? He panics in silence. He needs something playing, something moving, something distracting him, because he cannot sit with his own thoughts. And that's dangerous, because the moment you lose control over your mind, you lose control over your life. Think about how much time is being taken from you every single day. Hours gone, scrolling, watching, escaping. And the scary part? It doesn't feel like you're losing anything, because it feels good. But everything has a price, and the price of constant pleasure is your focus, your discipline, your ambition, your future. Imagine this: if you took just half of that wasted time and invested it into yourself, where would you be in 1 year? Stronger, smarter, more confident. But that version of you requires discomfort, and your brain has been trained to avoid it. That's why discipline feels so hard. Not because you're lazy, but because you're overstimulated. When your mind is constantly overloaded with pleasure, everything else feels dull. Studying feels painful. Working feels exhausting. Even simple tasks feel heavy. Not because they actually are, but because your brain is addicted to intensity. You've trained your mind to expect constant stimulation, so anything less feels like suffering. But here's the good news. This can be reversed. You can take your power back. And it starts with one simple decision. Stop chasing pleasure all the time. You don't need to remove happiness from your life, but you need to stop overfeeding your mind. Start small. Spend time without your phone. Sit in silence for a few minutes every day. Do things that feel uncomfortable. Delay your rewards. At first, it will feel boring, then uncomfortable, then frustrating. But if you stay consistent, something powerful starts to happen. Your mind begins to reset. Your focus returns. Your energy improves. Your discipline strengthens. And suddenly, the things that once felt boring start to feel meaningful again. That's when you realize something important. Pleasure is not the enemy. Lack of control is. The strongest men are not the ones who avoid pleasure completely. They are the ones who control it. Because discipline creates freedom, but uncontrolled pleasure creates dependence. So ask yourself honestly, are you in control of your life? Or are you just chasing the next moment of comfort? Because one path leads to ease, and the other leads to greatness. And the truth is, you can't walk both at the same time. If this opened your eyes, subscribe, because most men will ignore this message, and that's exactly why they stay stuck.